Okay, it's showing up now. Okay, let me try and test the audio first. Let me turn off the mic while I check the audio. Where is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it works. It's not picking up the fan, so that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna try something today, sort of, maybe. I don't know. They have fun, I guess. One thing about how I'm structuring. No, yeah, Chronicle Destiny, yeah. Is that I wanted to have the ability to tell stories. Not just stories that I have come up, but adapt stories. Maybe, I don't know. Like, already existing stories, just retell them in this uh, universe, basically, right? Um, I guess similar to like how how both Hamlet and Romeo were adapted into lions, right? The Lion King, sort of. Um, and I wonder what kind of stories were on the Lion Guard. But anyway, so just gonna adapt characters, right? And the characters I'm going to pick are from Steven Universe. And so it's a show that I really like, and so I'm see how can I basically adapt this story and this set of characters into the world that takes place on Chronicle Destiny. Uh, One thing, I'm not gonna start with Steven, being that uh, first I need to start an alarm. A timer for, let's say, 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I kind of already kind of have an idea how this story will be adapted, and I'll come back to Steven when I get to him. Which, whatever. Uh, I will first start with um, one of the crystal gems, actually. Uh, who are the crystal gems? All these people. I'm actually going to start with Pearl. Eh, this version. Kind of like how they just changed the some of the assets to change the character, but whatever. Okay. So one of the nifty things about Chronicle, the world of Chronicle Destiny, is that there are no humans. So I cannot just make Pearl a human or something that looks a human. I have to cast her as one of the races of the world, right? Let's say if I were talking about Tolkien's world, the Lord of the Rings, the Standard Elf, all that kind of stuff. Pearl will most likely be an elf, kind of, I guess. Though, of course, there's always humans I could come back. And maybe Amethyst will be a dwarf. And while it is incomplete, this is basically all the races in Chronicle Destiny. So I have to choose one of them. Maybe. And two here kind of stand out. This one over here, and not slowing down. The Minka, and this one's over here, the Corley. They stand out because they are a female-dominated race, and of course, all gems are genderless. But they use the pronouns, female pronouns, right? So, and these two are female-dominated cultures. But the Corley have at least right now, have greater variety. I've explored more with the Corley than with the Minka. So I'm gonna go with Corley. Pearl will be a Corley. Okay, what happened there? There we go. So I'm gonna cast her as a Corley. Why is there a... Okay, there we go. I believe Pearl is like the second tallest one, right? So, what, third? I think Rose is the tallest. So, then Garnet, then Pearl. So, do. Actually, I don't need to do it 60% right now. I'll just keep it at 60% right now. So right now, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much difference. Why is she a Corley and not something else? If anything, since she is tall and slim, a lore would be better for Pearl. Actually, I'm gonna try to mimic that pose now that I think of it. Do. Okay. So from here to here, Okay, so one thing that I should do is talk about stuff, right? One thing I want to talk about especially is the design. Uh, okay. The uniqueness of Steven Universe. I mean, okay. Hmm. Okay, am I record? Actually, now that I think, where is? It's showing black. How come it's showing black? Man, how long has it been black now? I'm gonna delete that one. Actually, let me see which one. Okay, so how long has it been black? I do not know, but I shall continue. Okay, where is everything? Okay, have my reference up. Okay, like I was saying, the interesting choices Steven Universe did made. Um, I mean, overall, one of the main thing is about gender identity in general, basically. But okay, to begin with, the first um, thing that struck me was female aliens. That, like, you think about it, when talking about aliens, what gender are they? And maybe I'm using the wrong terms, whatever, gender, sex, whatever, but I'm just gonna stick with gender for right now, at least. Being that NC is a very complicated, whatever. Being that one can argue sex is the biological um, aspect of it, and gender is the societal aspect of it, of of that sort of identity. But right now, I'm just using gender to denote both. But being that first, everything we do comes from our own experiences, right? If it has kind of has to be grounded on something, and it has to come from our own experiences. So we can think of an individual as male, an individual as female, but how do we uh, imagine an individual who is genderless? Being the gems are defined as being genderless, but how can we think of a genderless individual? The answer is that we don't. we give it a gender, and that gender, uh, if it doesn't have any other cues to indicate the otherwise, is male. I don't know, I heard the term before, but something about the male being the standard and female being the deviation from the standard, something like that. But if something's gender is not important, it doesn't define whatever, it is considered male. And unless gender comes into play, then you will have to designate it whether it be male or female. I mean, okay, and Pokemon. There are genderless Pokemon. Magnemite, Electrode, Ditto, um, is Arceus genderless? I don't know if Arceus is genderless or not. I'm trying to think of. Is Mewtwo genderless? Okay, well, we can just take Electrode. If you have to give it either male or female, what will you give it? It will be male. You can kind of think Ditto could be male, could be female, but most likely is male. Let me see, just really quick. Okay, Arceus is genderless, and you will most likely give Arceus male. Deoxys, Delmise, Dialga. Okay, see, Diancie again is defined genderless. But will you define it as male or female? You clearly give it female because it clearly has more female identifiers. Man, it's a complicated subject. Palkia, Porygon. See, anything that's not really like Cryogonal, is it male or female? Most likely gonna give it male or female. Tapu Koko, male or female? It's genderless, but again, I give it male. Well, Tapu Fini will be male or female? Gonna give it female. And okay, last one. Um, I'm trying to say if one of them. Okay. Magnoid. There we go. So again, Cryogano. Yeah, be hard to see it as female. Be hard to see it as female. I will clearly pass it as female and not as male. Pass it as female, not male. Pass it as female. Pass it as male, even though it is pink. Actually, maybe this could actually more like a baby, but still. And pass it as male. Okay, but anyway, that was back to female aliens. The like when you think of aliens, even the xenomorphs that from the aliens films, unless otherwise defined, I mean the alien queen gets portrayed as female, while the other ones could be considered male. Okay, back to the point that I was trying to make is that yeah, unless otherwise given cues that they're not female, we will take them as male. E.T., Kirby, or I guess what is can be called as coding. If they're not coded female, however abstract they are, we're gonna take them as male rather than female. They kind of have to be coded female to take them as females, and that's what they did here, right? They have this set of genderless aliens, and in order to, and they are clearly coded as female, so we can treat them as female, even though otherwise I believe that they could be interchangeable. Now that I think, what could she wear? Yeah, I'm not gonna focus too much on that right now. She's definitely wearing a standard curly shirt. And there we go. And actually that's why I chose Pearl to start first, because the type of female that she's portrayed as, let me see. A list of okay, that normally female characters are portrayed, if they're not kids, in one of two ways. Mostly, there are exceptions, but for the most part, either like I guess could be considered um, petite. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice one. Petite, which Pearl is. Or voluptuous. Right, the majority of female characters fall into those two. Within a spectrum of those two, to be more fair. In contrast, male characters have a far greater variety of shapes. I mean, let's consider the standard cast of a Mario game. We have Mario himself. He is a short, plump character. Luigi is a tall character. Wario is fat. Well, Luigi is slanky, but actually, I just wanted to point those two out because those two are extremes. But back to the normal cast. Toad and an extension, Toadette, are portrayed as kids. And Peach is portrayed as like I said, petite. Just quickly to define what I mean by petite is basically they do have defined chest and hips. Chest, waist, and hips. There we go. The hourglass figure, basically, right? With no, I guess, exaggeration. I guess. So, like over here, how I put this variant of Pearl. That's what I mean by petite. Okay. And out of the main cast, she is the most. She hits one of those two, right? And like I said, the majority of female characters in media is one of those two. While male characters have a greater variety of body shapes. At the very least, for primary and secondary characters. Tertiary characters, secondary and tertiary characters, especially tertiary characters, can have different body shape, but since the stories are not focused on them, Okay. Ah, man. Would it be okay without her wearing a poncho? Corliss females wear ponchos. Okay. I have the solution for her poncho. There we go. With one shoulder exposed. I really can't find a way to reference her hair on a Corliss style hair. So I'm just gonna make it short because she has short hair. Okay, good enough. Good enough for now. This is a pro. Next one. Now for the next one, it will be. Is there a link for her here? There has to be one. There we go. Amethyst. So, hmm. Okay, I'll use this one. Oh yeah, I'm just copying the stance. What are? And she is shorter than Pro. Actually, you know what? Let me get a purple color. Make it dark so it's actually like a pencil. Let's say over here. Yeah, there we go. Now see the thing about Amethyst in contrast to Pearl is that she is not a traditionally attractive. There we go. Like I said, the two main types for a traditionally attractive female character are the petite or voluptuous, which Amethyst is not. She is short, she is stocky. She has thick arms. short legs. She is not a traditionally attractive character. And yet she's a primary character on the story. She is not a secondary or a tertiary. Actually, her neck will be more close over here because of her pose. There we go. And so that was like the second thing. First, female aliens. Like I said previously, if otherwise stated, you will treat basically aliens as male, and males can come in a wide variety of shapes. In contrast, females tend to be traditionally attractive shapes. And while Pearl does fall into a traditionally attractive shape, Amethyst does not. Matter of fact, she's treated as a gross character. Right? She has her room messed up. She eats ages-old burritos. She was picking her nose. Goes in the ocean like a fish. Right? And also, like in contrast to Pearl, that's more proper. Amethyst is a bit more unfiltered. There you go. Which for a kid male character would be more acceptable. I mean, okay, for a female character, it is considered tomboyish. There we go. And tomboy is basically a female, a male-like female. There you go. A female character acting like a male one. I'm gonna give her this standard curly headband. So I can part her hair. So yeah, one thing about basically the cast of characters of Steven Universe is that they have a variety of shapes. In contrast to many in other shows, the female characters can be easily swapped. Just change the hair basically, and one or two body types, and that's it. It's an example. What difference between Jean Grey, Rogue, and Mystique? Besides hair, clothing, and I guess with Mystique skin color, you can say she's blue. But besides hair and clothing and color, how will you be able to differentiate them? I mean, right now with Pearl and Amethyst, you can differentiate them, but one is stocky, one is short, thick arms, long hair. Oh, I said not about hair. Yeah, short, stocky, thick arms, short legs, and the other one is tall, lanky, pointy nose. If I add Jubilee there, so you can differentiate between Jubilee and the other three, being that she is a kid character. She is younger. She looks younger. Corlys wear ponchos, so I'm trying to figure out what poncho would she wear. There we go, this kind. And Corlys do have traditionally big hair, so I can give her the big hair that she has. There we go. So I have two. The next one will be where is there a link for her? Garnet. And now we're gonna start more complicated adaptations because Garnet is a unique aspect. She's an experience. Being that she's a fusion, that's what I'm trying to get to, and that is something that has to be adapted. Kind of, how can I portray the fusionness of Garnet? Which she will be taller than Pearl. So for Garnet, I'm gonna get a reddish color. Yeah. There we go. I did not thought about changing the colors for pearl, I thought about it with amethyst. But anyway. Now, one thing about Garnet, that additionally that she is being these are aliens. None of these concepts exist for them, and them being coded female affects them in no way whatsoever. They don't they don't necessarily have the societal expectations of female Earth females, kind of. But they're coded female. And we, as the audience, add stuff to it, kind of, because of that. I think for the most part, if they were coded male, it wouldn't really change the story much. Besides Rose, being that she did decide to embrace it, she's the only one that kind of is affected. Male, I mean, yeah, the Earth gender expectations, kind of. Well, what I was going with that with Garnet is that she's not only coded as female. Again, with the concept of what is the norm and what is the deviation from the norm, that unless otherwise stated, we assume the default, right? And Garnet has an additional coding on her, and thus we, besides being coded female, is that she's coded African as well. That clearly she is coded as black, right, as a black individual. Her voice actor is black, and she does have I want to say on her voice you can tell. And yeah, even though her skin color is not exactly a traditionally skin color, kind of does have that feeling on her. And again, since a lot of that stuff is social constructs, her being coded black has absolutely no effect on her character. Right? She wasn't raised in the hood or like been oppressed entire. Well, okay, she was. Man, okay, that part is true. Being oppressed her entire life. Uh, but I mean, like the standard views in race. So if you think about with the pizzas, right? Well, where Kiki, Jenna, Nanamo, and I forgot the dad's name. Uh, race does inform those characters, and actually you can see them by the accents. Okay, what is the guy's name? I forgot. Is it Toffee? Same as from Star Versus? Okay, let me see. Let me. Okay, what did I click? Oh, click fictional characters. Map. Where are the pizzas? Coffee, not toffee. Coffee. Okay, back to them. The clearly the pizzas. Okay. Okay, back to here. Okay. Okay, now I have to locate back Garnet's. Okay. Ah, she has a visor, no eyes. Okay, both Coffee and Nanapa have non-American accents. There we go. While Kiki and Jenny do. So in addition, from that one, I can also conclude that they are immigrants. That Nanafa and Coffee came to what they call Del Mar. Yeah, whatever. Uh, Came to Beach City, and Kiki and Jenny were born, well, at least, well, whatever country they exist at, and yeah, Jenny and Kiki were born in that country. That's just how race informs the characters of the Pete's family. In contrast to Garnet, it doesn't. Huh. Yeah, that is more similar to her cotton candy cat. They need ponchos. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm not good with hands. Okay, but additionally, again, with the design of Garnet, I guess part of her design that needed to be functional, as in to the service of the story, that she needed to look physically strong. Which is not easy for female characters. Okay, not easy without being the femme fatale archetype, but that one again has the body type of voluptuous, and so it is a non-functional. It's one that kind of like, yeah, she really a femme fatale really wouldn't actually be able to do most of that stuff because of physics. But whatever, we're just gonna suspend our disbelief. Well, in contrast, if you need a strong male character, you make them muscular, right? Which you don't do that with female characters. right? I mean, Wonder Woman is one of the physically strong characters. Rogue also, uh, but neither one is as muscular as like Superman or even the Flash. But yeah, Superman is a strong character, and he needs. So they made him muscular. Shazam, remember a nice one. Shazam, the recent film, the character that plays him, the actor that plays him, is not physically muscular, and so right, at least the last time I saw him, he wasn't. When he played Chuck in Chuck, right? Zachary Levy, yeah, there we go. As a matter of fact, the entire thing about Chuck, that he was a nerd with an attractive spy. And yeah, for Shazam, a physically imposing character, he um, wears a muscle suit, I think, or CGI. I don't know, but yeah, he does not have that muscle definition. Let's see, is there anything on the production notes about? Do, 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 do. Okay, that's 1 hour. I mean, in contrast, the guy that plays Superman, Henry Cavill, does have that kind of strongman physique. But anyway, like I was saying, functionally, Garnet has to be strong. He has to be physically strong. And like I said, normally to portray a strong character, they're muscular. How will you portray a female character that still looks feminine but not muscular and still be strong? Let me see. Oh, Okay. There you go. Basically, of a physically strong female character, right? So, like I said, the one of the, I guess, negative functions for Garnet was for her to be physically strong. Um, being the the other female characters, except for her, basically have the same body type, more or less. Well, one of those two, like I said, voluptuous or petite. Right, except for her and her. And for the other one, you kind of had to again suspend disbelief that if they actually had those physiques, they would not be able to do much of what they do. But for Garnet, one thing, yeah, they didn't want to be too unrealistic, I think. So what they did with her, they gave her strong legs, right? She has strong legs, and see, even the waist is got it's not necessarily curved. It's a line, more typically male. Uh, they gave her thin arms, but they're topped with her gauntlets, basically. Kind of like Popeye. And gave her, like I said, strong legs. Kind of looks like she is lifting with her legs, kind of. But again, it's not a traditionally attractive form for a female character. Okay, I'm gonna leave Garnet like that. But one thing about Garnet is that she is two gems, a fusion of ruby and sapphire. So first I am going to deal with sapphire. Gonna get a blue. There we go. That's a nice blue. But in order to adapt this story, what are rubies and sapphire's relationship to garnet? And it could be one of two. Maybe it kind of and it kind of does serve interestingly with the fusion concept. One of them, it could be her children or her parents. So I'm gonna say parents. Sapphire and Ruby are just a bit shorter than Amethyst. And first I'm gonna deal with Sapphire. Sapphire is more traditionally female. I mean, she even wears a dress. Um, I mean, she is an aristocratic gem, so she acts more proper, like I said earlier. Uh, she has a dress which limits her movements, so she's not as acrobatic as everyone else. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm copying the pose. So I mean, yeah, not much on Sapphire. Like I said, she is traditionally female. Her legs do not show, so I had to make them up. I think I'm just gonna start with her big hair and then fill it out later, kind of. One thing about Corliss is that they do have big hair. Sapphire only has one eye, so should I try to preserve that or just make her two eyes? And she is the mother of Garnet, so she has to be more elderly. So let me erase all this. I have no idea where she is looking at, so I'm just going to have a look over there. Oh, she's a Corliss, I forgot. So she has a snout. And I'm gonna delete this part of the hair. Decided to make it shorter, slightly shorter. And had not considered it, but I'm gonna do it. Putting her ears in front of her instead of behind. So there we go. How should I do her dress? Being Kurds don't wear dress; they wear ponchos. The females. So a similar type of poncho that I did for Pearl. There we go. Good enough. There we go. That's Sapphire. And now Ruby, he will be the dad. There you go, Ruby. Being that in contrast to Sapphire, that is traditionally female, Ruby is very traditionally male. Being that even as the first time I saw Ruby, I thought it was male. But no, she's female. They're the same size, so I'm using her as... Wait. There you go. Actually, it will be down here because she is not standing up straight. And yeah, and the pair of Ruby and Sapphire, Ruby holds a more traditionally male position. To the point that you don't say that Ruby is female, it's easily confused for a male. And then for the wedding, she is the one that's wearing the wedding dress, while the traditionally female Sapphire is wearing the male wedding tux, the tuxedo, yeah, rather than the wedding gown. See, even like in Ruby Rider, he was playing a cowboy, which again is a traditionally male character. So I'm just gonna make this version of Ruby male. And I forgot he is elderly. Being that I guess in the adaptation, clearly there's no fusions. So for fused characters, I have to make I'll be the fusion elements should be the parents, while the fusion itself will be the child. There we go. Again, I had not thought about it, but why not? The ears coming from down the headband instead of going over it. The Corleys wear headbands. And since he is male, he does not need a poncho. There we go. Kind of missed opportunity. I'll probably do something about it later. But since Sapphire is a higher class, aristocratic gem, I could have given her more fancier clothing. Right now I'm just giving them casual wear clothing. So there, a traditional male Corley being Ruby. Actually, I think I made Sapphire's head too small for her size, being that she looks taller than she is. Okay, anyway. Okay, so next one of the crystal gems. This is the only one left. Peridot. It would be Rose. So that's the change they made for her. Now, one thing about why I chose Corliss rather than Minka is the Corley more female Corley females are taller and bigger and more physically imposing than the males. And Rose Quartz is big. So right now the last one was Garnet was the tallest. For Rose, let's see, can I get it some sort of pink? Gonna end up being magenta or there we go. So let's make a new layer for Rose. And actually I think I'm gonna run out of space for her. Gonna make it 150. It's working on it. There we go. More than enough. So for Rose, I'm gonna undo that part. It's gonna be from here to here. And remember, she has big hair, so. And also that Corliss have big hair and are physically imposing, and so is Rose Quartz. And so now talking about Rose Quartz design, that she is feminine. She is wearing a dress, strapless. She's pink. And even unlike previous characters, she has a defined chest. Even the previous dress holder, Sapphire. Where's Sapphire? There we go. Sapphire does not. Amethyst doesn't. Pearl doesn't. Peridot, Bismuth, Lapis Lazuli is another one that wears dress. I'm just gonna keep it on those ones. I don't know if I'm gonna do them. And see, with Bismuth, just really quick, with Bismuth, she would otherwise, unless just like Ruby, um, had to be said that she is female, or yeah, by her voice. Basically, that's the only thing that defines her as female is the voice. Otherwise, this design can easily pass as male. Again, another dress one, but she does not have. Rose, Rose, Rose. There we go, Rose. Hey. Isn't there? Yeah, it's not like even though the other ones are wear dress, they're not at, like rose quartz, and with her that she's more feminine. How come that face reminds me of Mr. Rogers? Okay, whatever. Uh, so with Rose, and she has a weapon on her, so maybe I'll draw the weapon on this one. Actually, I didn't draw it for the other three crystal gems, so I'm not. So for Rose, her design is definitely feminine, but she is not, again, traditionally attractive, a traditionally attractive form. For one, she is tall, right? Normally, females are shorter than males. And next, she is big. Again, normally, the two traditional, the ones that I keep pointing to, slim, petite, and voluptuous, tend to be slim, which rose quartz isn't. Neither is amethyst. So yeah, well, she is uh, feminine because she is big and tall. It kind of contrasts her femininity. And she had to be big and tall because she is the leader. She has to be physically imposing. I mean, that's one reason Garnet is also physically imposing, because she is the leader of the crystal gems. And Rose Quartz is the leader of the crystal gems. And Pink in disguise. Because she's wearing a shield, that's why I think, yeah, her armor is like that. And see, now that we've gone through basically all the crystal gems, basically, yeah, they were all all female aliens, and none of them are, like I said, like Rogue, Mystique, Jean, or even okay, how come I can't think of her name? Um, Jubilee. What's it called? Wonder Woman. Um, Catwoman. Um, Harley Quinn. Poison Ivy. Supergirl. Power Girl. Even Peach. Zelda. Um, Samus. Shell. Um, Alex from Half-Life. Being that Shell is from what's it called? Aperture Science. Portal. Whom else? Um, Starfire. The Pink Sapphires. Basically, yeah. There's a all the body types of all those characters are essentially the same. And there's four characters don't fit on the body types of all of those characters. The closest one will be Pearl, which is why I started with her because she is the closest one. But even with Pearl, one thing is that she has a big nose. That's another thing they point out actually. Yeah, besides like the outfit, besides the hair color, I mean, yeah, outfit besides the hair, there's very little that you can use to describe all those female characters. Well, I guess you can say, for example, like, and with female characters, one thing, another thing that also. Wait a second. Well, like I said, without the outfit, without the hair, without the curve definition, you're not left with much language to define female characters. like I was saying, you cannot without using those terms, you cannot define the differences between much to define the differences between, let's say, Peach and Wonder Woman. In contrast, you can for Mario and Batman, Bruce Wayne, or whatever. Though I guess yeah, within the DC animated universe, there's not much difference between like Bruce Wayne, um, Superman, Batman, Green Arrow, and Flash. With similar restrictions. You can say maybe like however Bane, you can describe make a description to differentiate him from the rest without using hair color, uh, outfit. Well, not just hair color, hair in general, and the outfit. Bane is muscular and big, and Batman is not. He's smaller than. Um, Smaller than Batman, yeah. Mario and Luigi. One is taller and slimmer. One is shorter and fatter. I can make that part of her design. Um, whom else? Spider-Man and Thor. Thor is big and burly, and Spider-Man is um, slimmer, more athletic. Within him and Iron Man and War Machine, um, Captain America, here's one, Doctor Strange, because he is not muscular, he's not athletic. But see, with just 4 characters, they cover a wide variety of shapes. You have a Pearl that's slim and nimble. What am I going? Okay. You have Pearl that's slim and nimble. You have Amethyst who's short and stocky. You have Garnet. who is tall and thick legs. You have Rose that's big and tall. You have Sapphire, who's prim and proper. Ruby, short and flat. Topaz, right? Another big and round, but not feminine like Rose. You have Aquamarine, who's sweet. Again, that's more subjective, not really. But she's short and light. What's it? Peridot, short. But see, you have more ways to define Steven Universe characters. Well, the female Steven Universe character than female characters in other places. Being that if you want to add something else that's not like slim, voluptuous, petite, childlike, cute to a female character, you have to make them manly. Like if you want to make them muscular or big and strong. Or you want to make them gross, or you want to make them basically anything else. Okay, I think it came out kind of good. I'm just gonna end it now. I'm just gonna move them and see how they look side by side. And actually, one thing with kid characters, they do have more variety. I want to contrast kid characters with adult characters, and they have to be kid characters. Not like, for example, on Recess. Uh, Man, I can't recall any of the characters' names. Can I recolor pearls? Is there a... Because I don't want her to be green. Okay, it's not that. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Maybe I could have done a bit different with Sapphire. But, I'm satisfied. I mean, why is the computer slow? Yeah, I'm just gonna end the stream. It's been like 2 hours. I'm gonna do Greg and Steven. Being the thing about them two, well, especially Steven, one thing that I want to point it out is that he is half gem, half human. So I was gonna make him half Corley, half something else. And that something else would have been whatever Greg was. But I'm gonna end it right here. And yeah, I'm quite satisfied how it came out. Did I just save? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's it.